Last night, I was scrolling the Leopards Ate My Face subreddit, and I came across this post. It's titled, Gay Conservative Subreddit is Now Panicking That Obergefell Will Be Overturned in Due Time. And I was like, there's a gay conservative subreddit? It piqued my interest. But let's just look at a couple of these comments. This person towards the bottom says, of course it will. Thomas, as in Clarence Thomas, and his concurrence on Dobbs specifically asked for a case that would let them revisit Obergefell. It's gone as soon as they can get a case in front of them. And this person at the very bottom says gay conservatives are a straight up oxymoron, like chickens for Colonel Sanders. And that is the reason why I needed to go over there to this subreddit. Okay, so this is the post that they pulled from, and this person captioned it, the former Rowan County clerk who was jailed after refusing to issue marriage license to gay couples is being represented by the legal team Liberty Counsel, which aims to use the case to overturn same-sex marriage at the federal level. Keep in mind, once again, this is the gay conservative subreddit. And Mishko says, this will happen, mark my words. And Deadbeat Johnson, and I'm not sure if this person is being sarcastic, says, yeah, who would have thought conservatives would behave like this? Unable Cellist says, you are unfortunately correct. Like, they voted for somebody that they knew would have a hand in attempting to meddle in their lives, yet they are gay conservatives. It's just mind-blowing to me. But then, like someone reminded me, there are the log cabin Republicans. But this political climate just seems so wild to me, even still. Like, they are definitely voting for the face-eating leopards party. And just to revisit what happened a few years ago, where this woman was like, I'm not issuing marriage license to gay folks. Liberty Counsel filed a brief Monday which argues Davis was entitled to religious accommodation in discriminating against same-sex couples. Over the past year, Davis was ordered to pay over $360,000 to a couple she had denied a marriage license to. Liberty Counsel seeks to appeal and in the process overturn Obergefell versus Hodges, which legalized same-sex marriage nationwide. In their brief, Liberty Counsel points to the court's 2022 Dobbs decision, which overturned Roe v. Wade, as a framework and precedent to overturn marriage equality. Liberty Counsel is designated as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. But what's wild is religious accommodation doesn't necessarily mean that she gets to say no across the board. She wasn't even allowing other people to issue licenses. She was just like, no, not in my place of work. She didn't want religious accommodation. She wanted the right to deny everybody anything in that space. Mishko says, it'll suck, but at least I'll get to say, I told you so to all the Trump is pro-gay people because his first term was terrible for gay rights and they just ignored it. Second will be even worse, especially as he continues to embrace Project 2025. So Mishko is coming for these people in their own subreddit. This person says, and gay conservatives will pretend to be surprised and outraged. This person, Eric by the Bay, says, F her, she was jailed for contempt of court. The reasonable accommodation was her deputies issuing the marriage licenses. She refused to let them because she thought she could use her government job to force her religious beliefs on others. The OP says they have a solid case for judicial precedents, and as these lawsuits continue to chip away at the 14th Amendment, the Bill of Rights may be threatened. Remember, before the Civil War, there was no 14th Amendment. In fact, before the Civil War, a landmark Supreme Court case called Barron v. Baltimore established that the federal law only applied to the government, meaning the Bill of Rights did not apply at state level. So why are y'all gay conservatives right now? Eric by the Bay says they have a weak case, hence their BS claims and why her butt is in jail. And Debbie Johnson says, keep voting for Republicans. What's the worst that could happen? Exactly. What's the worst? So another post from the gay conservative subreddit. This person says, how to date again with all the hate. This person says, recently ish, this was coming way before this, but this was the final straw. Broken up with my partner due to the election and our staggering political differences. I, 22-year-old woman, decided I wanted to try dating again. And holy cow, the dating pool for lesbians is just scary, liberal, and kind of crazy. I just want another conservative lady who can actually form an emotional attachment to another person and think for themselves outside of what the media says. Gay conservative friends are a bonus too. But I would imagine that most lesbians would be liberal, considering lesbians are women and conservatives and Republicans are against women's rights, and conservatives and liberals are against gay rights. So it doesn't make it's not going to be very easy to find another conservative lesbian. I cannot see that there's going to be a huge pool of that. I but I don't know. I don't know. That's just what I'm thinking in my brain, in my woman brain. So y'all wait. Now, this was posted in the Leopards Ate My Face, but I don't really think that this is Leopards Ate My Face because this person is just going to be coming for women. They title this one, You Get What You Voted For. Nice job, MAGA B words. And then this person shows us a couple of tweets from this person named Mike Davis. Mike Davis says, we will build a special gulag for left-wing white women, the laundry ward. And like I said, this is not really Leopards Ate My Face. It was just posted there and y'all needed to see this. Mike Davis says, here's my current mood. I want to drag their dead political bodies through the streets, burn them, and throw them off the wall. That does not seem like they're just coming for the people that voted for them. That seems like they're coming for people. Bucket Crab at the bottom says, they were telling the truth when they say we are all domestic terrorists at the CPAC. I don't know this man named Mike Johnson, so I went to the Google machine to figure out who he was. And it said, Trump Attorney General hopeful vows to drag bodies through the street. So he was hopeful of becoming the Attorney General. Man, this would have been terrible for people, women. Potential Trump cabinet appointees are trying to get into the president-elect's good graces in disturbing ways. Mike Davis, a right-wing activist considered a leading candidate for Trump's attorney general, on Wednesday threatened to legally drag their dead political bodies through the streets and burn them, referring to enemies of Trump and the right. And then here's the tweet that I just went through. And it said the violent threat came after Davis appeared to blame Democrats for the assassination attempts on Trump. The fact that a legal troll like Davis is considered a frontrunner to head the Justice Department reveals how many conservative lawyers Trump burned through during his first term and after his attempts to cling to power following his 2020 election loss. Many of these lawyers either want nothing to do with him now or are facing disbarment and criminal charges for their efforts to help Trump. The lawyers who have stuck around are more MAGA true believers than top conservative legal minds. This should definitely frighten normal thinking people. And even if this man doesn't become AG, he's probably going to get some kind of prominent role in the Trump administration. And that should definitely be jarring to, like I said, normal thinking people. And then finally, this one, prominent atheist who voted for Trump cries about prayer in school coming back. And right-wing people have been attempting to push Bible stuff into schools for the past few years. Why would he vote for this person? Why would he support Trump and you be an atheist? These people have no sense. I have no idea who David Silverman is, but it says that he's out here crying because Trump got in, but I guess he was voting for him as well. These people make no sense, but that's the reason why they end up in the Leopards Ate My Face subreddit. Anyways, that's a rundown on what I saw in this subreddit. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think about any and all of this. Don't forget to like, comment, and share. I love find out season. I love find out season, especially after this election season. It's like a balm to my heart. So let's jump into this Am I the A hole post. This person says, Am I the A hole for canceling a 6-figure plumbing job because MAGA? This person says, I recently canceled a 6-figure plumbing job because the plumber I was looking at hiring flew the Trump flag in his truck after the election. I have a large plumbing job I'm trying to do for a cannabis farm. It requires a ton of work to be done, but especially running plumbing for the plants, feed room, etc., etc. I have had 6 or 7 meetings with the guy going over the project detail. Dosing systems, in particular, are complicated and require significant planning to get right. Unfortunately, after seeing his support for Trump, I decided doing business together wouldn't work. As a veteran, anyone who voted for Trump is spitting in my face and betrays everything I stand for. It's not a matter of political disagreements, it's values and morals. I do my best in life not to be a rank hypocrite. So as soon as I saw that he was a Trump cultist, I told him it wouldn't work. He, of course, was extremely angry and threatened to sue. I told him he was more than welcome to file suit and that no contract had been signed. I also told him I would file a countersuit to recover legal fees for filing a frivolous suit. Meanwhile, I've also found out several of his workers are, in fact, undocumented. Oh, a hypocrite? A MAGA cultist that's a hypocrite? What? I wish I could say I was surprised, but MAGA and functional intelligence are not something you find together ever. Am I the a hole? Sure, I'm willing to bet tons of MAGA sycophants will say I am. But frankly, I couldn't care less. I do everything possible to make sure my time and money don't go towards supporting fascism or fascists. I didn't read towards the bottom. I didn't realize that this person also had was using undocumented people in their workforce. It's going to be so wild when these people really, really do find out what happens when these mass deportations pop off. So many people think it's only going to happen to those people over there or over there, but no, it's going to impact undocumented labor. It's making these people stress. People might just leave on their own accord is going to impact many different industries. And it's really silly that some people that are hypocrites like this would employ people and then vote for somebody that says, I'm going to kick all of them out. Hypocrites, yeah, and integrity, yeah, that it doesn't really match. I bet you that person would also say that they were a Christian as well. Okay, so let's jump into some of these comments. James says, Good luck finding a plumber who doesn't support Trump. Do you know any actual tradespeople in real life? They are almost all Trump voters. And then the OP, whose name is We Aren't Fam MAGA, says, Maybe in the fascist hellscape you live in. Thankfully, I live in a place where people still like America and think democracy is great. So the overwhelming majority didn't vote for Trump. My father was a contractor for 45 years, and so I was able to quickly find someone who was not pro fascist, pro grape, pro con, pro crime, or anti American. Who but me, 97, says, You sound like a bitter old man. 85% of combat vets are conservative. Nobody spit on you by voting for Trump. Get over yourself. The OP says, You think your red hat is any different than their brown shirt or white hood. It's the same ideology, just rebuilt and rebranded to fool fools. If I sound like an old man, it's probably because you're a young idiot. If you voted for Trump, you spit on everything that uniform stands for and everyone who's taken an oath to this country. You can serve in the military and still be a greedy, ignorant, racist piece of but for those who fought against extremism in all its forms, MAGA is little different than ISIS or Al Qaeda or any other religious extremist group. The reason Trump hates the American military and loves Hitler's generals is because one group was loyal to the Constitution and the rule of law. The other was a group of sycophants loyal to one man and help him murder millions in his name. Goonie Goo Goo says, You're the a hole. How would you feel if he turned away your business because he doesn't like liberals and didn't care for the legalization of pot? He may be MAGA, but he's also a businessman who can look past things that he may not otherwise care for. He didn't reject you because of your views. Last time a baker said no to a gay wedding cake, it literally went to the U.S. Supreme Court. He could conceivably do the same thing to you. He cannot do the same thing to him because if he was looking to get paid, he would just take the money. But people can reject business and people could reject giving their money to business as well. So I don't see how he could conceivably do the same thing because he wanted to make that six figures. And yeah, let's just look at what the OP says. The OP says you might want to check your case law there. He says inquire, but I think he meant esquire. The right wing theocrats won the right to be just as discriminatory as they want, using their religion as both a shield and a cudgel. Seems only fair play not to hire someone who openly supports a rapist, felon, con man, incest curious wannabe dictator. As I said, I'm not a hypocrite. So if MAGA doesn't want to buy my product, fantastic. I've got zero empathy for people like that. People who voted for Trump wanted a world of hate, division, lying, cheating, scamming, and degenerates. Then they want to cry when they start reaping what they've sown. Goonie Goo is really feeling some type of way. He says, the MAGA plumber didn't care about your politics, but you cared about his. That says a lot more about you than it does about him. They really want people to care. They really want folks to spend money with MAGA, and it's so weird. They go out of their way to be triggering, like, wearing their hats or whatever. And we see that as a red flag to stay away. And when we do stay away, they get like this. This is American says, are you sure? It says a lot if you voted for the someone who's convicted of 34 counts of felonies or loves tax dodging or abuses their employees. Also, SA. My favorite is when he got his daddy to pay off doctors because he didn't have the balls to fight for this country. Goonie Goo says, oh, good Lord. Orange Man was a draft dodger. Then he says, my father was drafted and served in Vietnam. Can't say the outcome for him was a good one as it lost him his life for a war we never should have been involved with. But I guess you Democrats are fine with your war hawks like LBJ. On one hand, they act like, veterans are great, like, let's go, veterans. And then, depending on the conversation or who they're talking to, then it becomes a problem. And being a draft dodger is a good thing. It's really wild to me to watch the cognitive dissonance play out in real time. how they how they really meld their brains into a pretzel to support this person. Anyways, I do not believe that that man was an a-hole for canceling. You go ahead and weigh in. I believe that people are in their find out season. FAFO is where we are. FAFO. Join the conversation. Let me know what you think about this one. Don't forget to like, comment, and share.
My wife is divorcing me. She said she couldn't be with the Trump supporter.
Well, I got nothing to say right now. Please continue.
Told me I have until the end of the day to get my shit out of the house, get all my things. She's changing the lock. She doesn't want me back. She said she's taking the kids away from me. Yeah. I don't know what to do.
Listen, I'm never going to celebrate like a family being broken up. Him saying she's going to take his children from him, etc. That sucks. But to be clear, for situations like this and situations where people have like cut off family members, it's not because they're a Trump supporter. Like, him being a Trump supporter is not the reason. Him being a Trump supporter is one of the symptoms of the reason. It's like a byproduct. I looked through some of his other stuff. One, to make sure this wasn't like satire, and it seems, unfortunately, it's not. But two, like, in it, he had another encounter with someone where he was in his yard doing yard work, listening to a conservative podcast. Someone allegedly came by and said something. I think that's sort of what the problem is here. It's that his morals don't align with hers. He is absorbing these voices and these opinions and these ideas that are greater than just Donald Trump. There's a commonality of people who think and act that way, people who think certain ways about women, for example, people who have sort of like more chauvinistic or misogynistic ideals also being Trump supporters. I'm willing to bet it's that. But him believing that she left him just for being a Trump supporter is a lot like a doctor telling you you have lung cancer and then telling everyone, I'm dying from a cough. This cough is killing me and I'm going to die. The cough is a symptom. It's a byproduct of the thing that is killing you. Like the expression, the straw that broke the camel's back, it doesn't mean a single straw broke a camel's back. It means it was the final one out of millions of them that became too much to bear. You supporting Trump was the straw, but it was just one of the many that were the symptoms of the real sickness.
Leopards are my choices. I shall make no better. They maketh me lie down in unethical places. They leadeth me beside murky waters. They confuse my soul. They leadeth me on the path of bad decisions for their own sake. Yea, though I walk through the valley of leopard-infested shadows, I will act surprised at the consequences, for I never saw this coming. Their growls and their teeth, they astonish me. They prepare a table before me with no actual food, only misleading promises. They anoint my head with regret. My confusion runneth over. Surely bites and scratches will follow me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the den of face-eating leopards forever. Psalm 23. Leopards ate my face version. May the hearer be blessed, and be blessed shall thou be. I feel blessed as I read that. Hopefully you do too.